All right, turning now to a growing trend that we're seeing within higher education. Community colleges around the country are sounding the alarm about the decline that they are seeing in enrollment numbers. So, based on the latest data out of the National Center for Education Statistics, there were 11 million students who attended community college in 2010. That number dropped to a little over 6 million during the 2021 to 2022 school year. So, of course, the question becomes why? Why are we seeing more than a 45% drop? Well, I wanted to ask that question to the president of the Connecticut Community College System, Dr. John Maduko. Dr. John Maduko, good morning. So, why do you think we're seeing this decline in students attending two-year institutions?
Hey, good morning, Rahel. Thank you for having me. For starters, the COVID-19 pandemic definitely exacerbated the enrollment decline. So higher ed overall had been seeing a 10-year straight enrollment decline, both 4-year and 2-year. Higher ed hit a enrollment height at the height of the Great Recession about more than a decade ago, right? But those numbers were not sustainable. So when the pandemic hit, it really exacerbated issues and challenges and barriers that college students typically have always faced. Child care insecurity, transportation, housing, mental health, and et cetera. And obviously, with community colleges, we serve a larger percent of the population that is facing and dealing with those challenges, especially African American, Hispanic, and those from a lower socioeconomic background.
How much does the strong labor environment that we've had really for quite some time, at least since the pandemic, how much does that factor in? And what I mean is that if jobs are plentiful, wages are increasing, perhaps some people feel like, well, maybe I'll just get a job instead of go to school.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a combination of a couple of factors. I think one, there are more jobs than people looking for jobs, right? So to get a job is much easier than in decades past. I think two, people are thinking about their livelihood. Many individuals come from maybe a non-traditional or really a traditional background where they have to care for their children, or maybe it's a multi-generational household. So to put off their livelihood for 2 years or 4 years or longer, it's not simply sustainable, right? So
Mm.
we're seeing that. And then also too, I think we're seeing employers begin to reduce the educational requirements. So we're seeing a lot of the corporate giants eliminate the need for a baccalaureate degree, right? So that's challenging. I think this is an opportunity for higher education in totality that we have to adapt and adjust and meet people where they are.
And so how are you doing that? How are you meeting people where they are to try to incentivize them or remind them of the value of a two-year education?
Yeah, absolutely. So for starters, every level of education someone secures, it increases their lively earning potential, right? And again, we have to higher education has to put things in terms as it relates to the person, right? Like how much does it cost for you to live your life? How much does it cost for you to tend to the things and the people that are important to you, right? I think two is how we deliver it. Higher education is still intimidating. So here in Connecticut State Community College, we're 6 months old. We're the largest community college in the Northeastern United States. One is our price point. We have very low tuition rate. We have a free tuition program where more than 12,000 students benefited from that last semester. We have 18 locations, so accessibility is doable. We have multiple modalities of delivering courses, online, hybrid, evening. So again, adapting to those students who work, who have kids. So again, it's all about flexibility, affordability, and accessibility. And last but not least, we've invested and gone all in mental health. So we have mental health counselors across our campuses, and also we provide telehealth services so students can access those services from home.
Just lastly, before I let you go, I wonder, I imagine there are certain industries that two-year colleges serve more over index. And I wonder if we're seeing a decline in community colleges, how much of a concern does that create for certain jobs moving forward? I mean, we already have labor shortages in certain industries. How much of a concern does that create moving forward in terms of filling those jobs, some of which are really important?
Oh, it's a significant concern. So our college serves on the Governor's Workforce Council, where we work with all of the workforce boards, industry leaders, state agencies to really address those concerns that you brought up. So we hear from employers every day. We're big in manufacturing, we're big in healthcare, we're big in other areas. And we recognize that, again, we have to work together. It's no longer higher education by themselves is going to address the workforce shortages. We have to understand workforce and employers and their needs, but we have to educate employers on the needs of today's student. And students today just think differently, right? They don't want to stay with the company for 35 years, right? They want affordability, they want flexibility to move around. So together we have to address these issues, these challenges, and these demands moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has been said about the structural changes in the labor market after the pandemic, but I think you're absolutely right that employers, educators are now thinking about just sort of how to position themselves in a way that really demonstrates the value to either the student or the employee, because
Yeah.
things are different and it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
We'll have to leave it here, but so good to have you today, Dr. John Maduko. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.